No matter how good of an actor you are or how well you've prepared, once you enter the waiting area, if you don't know how to be in the war zone, then your audition work could suffer. So in this video, I have asked a casting associate and a casting assistant to give you the valuable tips and insights, as well as the do's and don'ts that could help you do your best auditions. I have invited two commercial casting insiders to help you better prepare for your commercial auditions. Meet Tracy Burton, a casting assistant, and Max Goodsmith, a casting associate. First, let's learn a little about these two and their jobs.
As a casting assistant, I run the lobby, and what that entails is when the actor comes in, I make sure they sign in on the proper sign-in sheet and that they're auditioning into the proper room.
A casting associate's job is basically to help the casting director cast whatever project we may be doing, whether it's a commercial, voiceover, TV, and film. And when we're casting, we get a tremendous amount of pictures in different categories depending on the roles that we have to cast. And it's impossible for the casting director to go through every single picture. He or she just does not have enough time. So what I do is I go through pictures with him or her. I pick the people that I like. So then I will call down the pictures, make a schedule, and then whatever the casting director I'm working for will then go through it, takes them out, puts them in so it's perfect for them.
Now, these casting professionals will share their empowering insights and tips. This video will focus primarily on the waiting room, and in part 2 of this series, we will focus on what goes on inside the audition room.
Most likely there's going to be a big board available for you to look at to see, because some casting facilities have 8 to 10 rooms. And so you want to see what job you're coming in for. Then it'll tell you what room, and so say it's room number 8. So then you go to room 8, and you'll look, and they'll have an info sheet up, and that'll be posted right above the sign-in sheet. And then as soon as you figure out whether or not you are available for the shoot dates, available for the callback, you don't have any of those conflicts, you'll sign in on the sign-in sheet.
For actors, the best thing is come in, read all the information before you ask questions, sign in, make sure you have the right script, and then if you do have a question or something comes up, please come up to us and ask us. I would say try to do it in the most polite and easygoing way. We're dealing with anywhere between 100 and 300 actors in a day. And when actors come up and they're all huffy and upset about things or they have to go, it just adds to the tension in the room, which doesn't help anyone. It can range anywhere from being really fun and funny and everyone's having a good time to being really stressed out and tense when things are running behind, when callbacks are over an hour behind, when people have places to go.
A lot of times people are very nervous, and sometimes they're so nervous they don't even know what job they came in for. And even if you're like, they're asking if there's copy and it's right in front of them. So sometimes those nerves are so destructive, I feel, that they need to just take a breath and let it go. Signing in and going to the bathroom. Unless there's 20,000 people waiting, and then you know you're not going to be next, because oftentimes that they'll sign in and then we're calling their name and we're like, Joe, where are you? And there's no Joe.
I think the biggest mistake actors do consistently is not listen. They've created in their mind what they're going to do, and they do not listen to what the casting associate, the casting director, the session director has to say and adjust accordingly. And the best actors are the ones that are able to adjust to when they hear new information.
Asking the casting assistant, hey, what's happening? What's going on? Nobody told me anything. We're not going to allow you to audition without being wonderful and prepared, because we want you to be great.
You need to be friendly. There are so many actors that come in, we have actors that literally come in as they're signing in. They say things like, well, how long is it going to be? Or I'm running behind, or I have 4 auditions. And instantly we're aggravated, because it's like, we understand, we try to accommodate you, but it's not just about you.
Signing in and then looking through the sign-in sheet for your friend's name. I mean, really, we don't really need to know. And then, because what happens is I'm moving very quickly. And so sometimes I need to get to that sheet and put people on deck. And then here you are blocking the sheet, and now I have to maneuver around you.
you need to be on time. It's as simple as that. When you have an appointment, I always go back to saying things like, if you're going to the bank, or if you're going to see your family, or you have a dinner appointment, you're on time. This is no different. And if you're going to be late, we understand that there's traffic. We understand that, callbacks and auditions happen elsewhere and you get caught up. You call your agent. There is a protocol to how you handle it. You do not call yourself. We do not want to hear from you. Okay, that's why you have an agent. What happens is the actor shows up. Usually they're afraid to call their agent because they don't want to get yelled at because they're running late. So then they just kind of go for it. And so what happens is they come during lunch, they come after the session's over, and then they're mad because they have sat all this time in traffic. They try to get there. I get that, but my session director has to eat, or we have to get the link to our directors. We can't wait for you.
Not telling me if you're going to need to move your car or put money in the meter. You need to let me know, because a lot of times I'm skipping around on the list because I have either I'm going man or woman, or different ethnicities, or if I have a kid in the scene with you and you think that you're way down, but really you're the next guy and you didn't tell me, and now I'm running around looking for you.
Common sense seems to sometimes just fail people when they come to auditions, and where anywhere else you'd be like, of course this is obvious, this is not to actors. This has happened more than one time where we've either been at callbacks or we've been at fittings, and because sometimes when we do print stuff, we have fitting stuff, and they're coming to try on clothes, and I had an actress say this to me once, and I had an actor say that, they're like, excuse me, Max, I don't have any underwear on. And I'm just like, you came to a fitting. Like, what do you mean? You're gonna try on clothes? Like, I don't understand.
Not telling us if you have a conflict. It's very important for us, because here we are, we're at the callback, and you didn't say that you are booked out for one of the shoot dates. And now my director loves you. And now we have to tell him that you're not available for one of the shoot dates. And it just looks bad on us, and it looks bad for the talent as well. When you guys have a certain category, and sometimes you might come in, say your call time's at 5 and you want to come in at 12, and you sign in, and we come to your name and you're a completely different category than what's there. Just come in and ask. You can definitely just ask us whether or not, hey, are you on my category, before you sign in.
It's a business. And I think that this is what's lost a lot, is you wouldn't bring your animal or additional friends to Wells Fargo when you get your mortgage. So why is that stuff happening when you come into an office, and especially an audition waiting room? Because you have to imagine multiple people. If you work in an office that has multiple casting directors, you have to times that by as many jobs that are going on. So I feel that the more professional you are in the waiting room, the better casting is going to respond to you, the more they're going to remember you. As it's almost as important as how good you do in the room.
Sometimes we're casting the same job in multiple rooms. And so what we'll do is we'll have what roles are going into each room. And sometimes the talent comes in, first of all, doesn't know what job they're coming in for, doesn't know their role, or sometimes they mix up their call time. This is a job just as if you were going to IBM and going for a job for a computer technician. It is the same thing. It's a job. So you wouldn't walk into that building, first of all, not knowing who you're going to interview with and what job it's for. Make sure you do get your sides beforehand, before you audition, the night before. And when you get in your car, you're driving in, make sure you just take a moment for yourself and to clear your head, whatever's going on in your life or what's going on in your world at that moment.
I think the biggest tip for an actor coming into the waiting room is preparation. And I think that preparation means whether you got in advance and create sort of what you're looking to do with the character and know the lines, or you come early and sit and prepare. We have no problem with you saying to us, listen, I need a minute. I need to look over this. I want to be prepared. I want to have the best chance in the room. Totally get that. We would rather have you do that anytime than go into the room and do a bad job because you're not prepared.
If you're doing it with a partner, You may want to ask the casting assistant who you're going to be paired up with, because you definitely want to create that chemistry with whoever you're going in the room with.
Ask questions. I mean, this doesn't mean if you're doing a 2-line commercial, you need to have, a 30-minute backstory, but, you're selling a product. But I think that you can ask, I don't really, what are we going for? Is this supposed to be over the top comedy? Is this supposed to be more subtle? Is this a little bit more serious? What's the angle here? We'll tell you. We want you to do a really good job.
What I've learned that helps me with my own auditions is to be calm and to relax when I go into the casting facility, and to make sure that, I don't have to be so married to the words sometimes. Just make sure that I bring Tracy, myself, to the audition.
Great preparation tips and insights, from those with a unique perspective. Now, in part 2 of Casting Insider Tips, you will get even more empowering audition information from the session directors. They are the people who can help make or break your audition in the audition room. If you are watching this video, I assume you want to be a professional and successful actor. So really think about all the great information you have received here and apply it to your auditions. We all want you to do your very best. If you have missed any of my previous MTT videos, do check out the archives on my MTT commercial page. Also, for more information on the craft and business of being a successful commercial actor, check out my CD program, Getting the Job, and my book, Hit the Ground Running. Be sure to watch the other videos of my MTT partners. I promise you that what you will learn from the training videos on our site could make a big difference in your career. See you next time.